here we are. First of all, I'd really like to thank all of you for being here. It means a lot to me to see all of you out here. I know it meant a lot to my other graduates as well, so thank you. As I thought about what I wanted to talk about today, I decided I would share a bit about some of the activities I've been involved with, and a lot of people have made those happen. But to start, I'd like to thank my parents for making the decision and taking the time to homeschool me. I'm forever grateful for all the work they've done to give me a good Christian education. Dad, thank you for taking time from your work schedule to teach me the subjects that I found more challenging, such as math and physics, even when I protested. Mom, thank you for always making sure that I both did my work, but also understood it, even if I said I did. And thank you both for teaching me about God and making that such an emphasis in my education. When I think about activities, the first one that comes to mind is our homeschool fall soccer program. I've played soccer there since I was about 5 or 6 years old, and continue to now, though in the future I expect to have more of a coach and administrative role. I do really look forward to Friday afternoons, and they are still probably one of my favorite days of the week. Another huge highlight of my life was the first Lego League robotics program. A couple of you out here were part of that, including Christian, Nina, fellow graduate Bethany, among others. And we first started our team in 2011, and we weren't super great, but it was definitely a learning experience. And from the next year through our last year, the final 3 years, we made it to the Southern California Championships every single year, which is a blast. I'd like to thank my dad for taking the time, again, to always be there and help us with all the challenges that we encountered, and also for Mr. Blackburn, who took on the role of assistant coach, for always being there. For 3 years, Val, my good friend Brennen, and I organized the Fallbrook Nerf Club. And we were teenagers, but you can still have a lot of fun shooting foam darts at each other. You really can. It doesn't have to be airsoft or paintball. You can really have fun with foam. So that was really fun, Brennen. I really enjoyed those times. Also, since first grade, I've been involved with the Awana program at Sunrise Christian Fellowship. And I'd really like to thank Mr. and Mrs. Mann for running that. Mrs. Mann for doing such a wonderful job leading it ever since I was, first grade. And for Mr. Mann for being our Bible study leader and a spiritual mentor to our journey group. Also at Sunrise, I've currently had the privilege of being on the planning board for their Vacation Bible School. And a big thank you to Mrs. Murray, who runs VBS, for both trusting me enough to give me that role, and also for doing such a great job every year of running it. This past year, I've had the opportunity to participate in several Bible studies, and these have been really instrumental in building my faith in God and bringing me closer to Him. Thank you, Brennen, for all our fun afternoons of fellowship together, learning relevant topics to help us both grow and to share our faith. I look forward to continuing that. Thank you also to Daniel and Lisa Regier for your Bible study that has taught me how to more effectively study the Bible. I look forward very much to restarting that in the fall, and thank you for your family for always opening up your homes to us for that. For the past 2 years, I've enjoyed the wonderful Spanish class taught by Ms. Bull. Thank you so much for passing on your knowledge of the Spanish language to us every week. It'll be a useful language to know here in Southern California. My fellow graduate Bethany was our assistant teacher for that class, so thank you, Bethany. We certainly may not have always been the easiest class or the fastest learners, but you are both so patient with us, so thank you. After our Spanish class on Mondays, David Bowl and Becca Bowl started a volleyball group and Bible study time. I love soccer, but honestly I love volleyball more, having played it for 3 years of CLA. So I've really enjoyed getting to play volleyball on a consistent basis every week. And so David and Becca, thank you so much for taking time out of your busy lives to spend time with us homeschoolers and help mentor us. And so what's next? In the fall, I'm planning on attending Maricosta College for some math classes and a photography class. And then in 2020, I am going to California Baptist University with the goal of getting a master's degree in architecture. So as I conclude, please note that there are many things that I'm thankful for, and always will be. A big thank you to all my friends. Stuck by me for so many years, I don't have time to name all of you, but you know who you are. Thank you again for coming this afternoon. I'm blessed to have such a wonderful family and friends.
Hi. I'm Susan, Frank's mom. Yes. Frank, I just want to tell you, I so enjoyed working and teaching you and being with you over these years. And I really appreciate your diligence and your work, your gentle sense of humor, naming all of our animals with various nicknames. And just see God's hand in your life from when we first adopted. Frank, the agency, told us that perhaps we should look to move someplace where there were more Korean people. But in fact, God opened a door then. We heard about the homeschooling group here, and it has just been a tremendous blessing. Frank has just wonderful friends through that group and the expanded other homeschool groups. And I'm really proud of you that you've grown to be a young man who's willing to help others and who has real kindness, whether it's through Awana or the Therapeutic Riding Center and helping with soccer, organized soccer. And then when Frank was 15, we adopted our second son, Matthew. And Matthew and Frank has grown to be a terrific big brother, which wasn't completely easy. Matthew had been in a difficult situation, had not had a family, and he really did not want a big brother. He either wanted to be the only child, or he could choose to be the big brother. In fact, he would draw stick figures and label them with the larger figure with his M for Matthew, and the smaller one with F for Frank. But as we were putting out thoughts for this little talk, he took me aside and he said, well, I would like to tell my big brother that I really enjoy doing things with him and that I'm going to miss him when he goes to college. So I very much appreciate you.
I just want to say that I wholeheartedly agree with, oh, by the way, I'm Jack, Frank's dad. I want to wholeheartedly agree with the gratitude that they said. I wanted to name a few other people who've really been instrumental in helping us get here. Wanted to thank the Kowalik and Blackburn families who've been our partners in crime from day one of this homeschooling adventure, and even before, going back several years before that. We couldn't be here without you. Also want to thank the Greg and Teresa Johnson and Michael and Susan Faelin for partnering with us as well in this journey. I want to thank Pastor Slater, who was able to open this facility to us to have part of his support for private homeschooling and even function in the sound booth working there for us. I want to thank Val Robidoux for agreeing to speak. Val, you have a special place in my life as one of the people who first showed me back in the mid-90s that Christianity is really a relationship with the living God and not some best efforts adherence to a moral code. I want to thank Pastor Stan Wujek for being here and for your counsel through the years. And Susan, my wonderful wife and indispensable partner on this homeschooling adventure. When I started praying about the graduation several months ago, the Bible verse came to my mind. Ironically, it's the same verse that you graduates chose as your class verse. It's on the back of your programs, Hebrews chapter 12, verses 1 and 2. That verse refers to a cloud of witnesses, and the context is referring to a list of the Old Testament saints, starting with Abel, who trusted in God, and that's described in Hebrews chapter 11. I submit to you, Frank, and fellow graduates, that cloud of witnesses also includes this community here, the Fallbrook and Valley Center homeschool groups. The rest of the verse states the command then to throw off everything that hinders and the sin that so easily entangles. And let us run with perseverance the race marked out for us, fixing our eyes on Jesus, the pioneer and protector of faith. That's the best roadmap for the future you will find. Frank, God's given you many good talents. You're kind, you're smart, you've got a servant's heart, and you've got leadership skills that have shown up in so many things, Robot Club, Nerf Club, off-season soccer, even the yearbooks. You've got an interest and ability in design, and you've got athletic skills. You've been diligent, you perform well in your studies. Your mom and I have very much enjoyed the opportunity to homeschool you these past 13 years. We look forward to seeing how God can use you as you let Him for His glory. And it's our privilege to grant you your high school diploma.